morning, beautiful people, and welcome to the 10th episode of Bizelevate. All this time, we talk about starting a business. We start about an idea, the target market, the market size. Yeah, all is good enough. If you're just going to start a side business or a hustle, then it's good enough to start talking about this. But if you are serious about business, then you should have 100% focus. And the other most important aspect is the legal representation of your business. That means your trade license. You have to have a legal entity to start a business in any part of the world. That gives it a lot of advantage. It keeps you in the rule book, aligned to the government policies, aligned to authorities that are representing in that particular market. So it's important to now start thinking about the trade license. What is your legal entity going to look like? What it is going to be formed with, formed by, or formed for? For example, if I have to take the UAE, just imagine we have around 50 plus free zones. We have mainland authorities issuing licenses. In this scenario, how is one going to decide how to move forward? Isn't it confusing? Not confusing, but also overwhelming. You don't know where to start deciding to form a business legally. If you go to any business setup agency, the first thing they will ask is, what is your activity? So you need to define the activity under which you're going to start a business. The second question is going to be, how many stakeholders? That means, are you going to be a solo proprietor, or are you going to be a group of partners? Third is, do you need visas and an office? Because all these things together would actually make the legal aspect of your business, and then it would tell you also how much it's going to cost you to start a business in the first place or to get that trade license. So it's very important for us, when you start thinking about legalizing a business, to think about these aspects. Because of the dynamic situation, a number of authorities that are issuing license in the UAE, it becomes quite a task to pin down on one aspect, one zone, one area. You have advantages and disadvantages attached to each of this licensing authority. You need expert advice to take the next step. But basically, you have to start off with an activity in terms of, is it going to be a B2B segment or a B2C segment? Then what kind of activity of business are going to be defining? Forget about the refining at the moment, but start with a definition for your activity, because that's how any authority is going to tell you what kind of license you require, because licenses again are of different types. Each authority is doling out licenses left, right, and center for n number of activities. So to specify any of the activities, you have to be specific yourself. If it's going to be a sole proprietorship in a free zone, a sole proprietorship in a mainland, is it going to be a LLC in the free zone, LLC in the mainland? So all these things matter. That gives the legal makeup for your business. Once you've decided on the activity, some activities require to have an office. So the authority itself is going to say, you need an office. Nowadays, remote working also has been easily accepted by the authorities. So you can have a virtual office too. Of course, that cuts down your overheads and make things simpler for beginners to get into the legal aspects of business. The number of visas required, the amount of office space that is required, all this add up to the bottom line of how much you are going to pay for any specific license. Other than that, you have to start thinking about, if I have to close this business tomorrow, or if I have to renew the license tomorrow, if I have to maybe change zones tomorrow for the legal aspect of the business, how much it's going to cost me on a long term. It's just not having a business license is enough, but how to move it to the year 2, year 3, year 4 also is important. So once you decide on a licensing zone or licensing authority, do ask about things like how much is going to cost me for the renewal. Okay, if I am a lady entrepreneur, if a female entrepreneur, there are many licensing authorities who give better rates, better facilities and features in their business licensing packages. So ask for that and make sure that you get it and take it to the next level of having a proper business setup done. And if you're confused, there are always many business formation and setup companies in Dubai, in the UAE, who can support you. So always seek expert advice. That is always better than doing it by trial and error. And then sometime later, when you get penalties, you have to pay fines, regret about it. Well, that's all for today. Let's meet tomorrow. Till then, have a rocking day.